happy to be here with them. But we pray that you'll continue to be a blessing for them for many years to come, and we're glad that you came as far as you have to celebrate this tonight. Richard, Katie, you raised a fine young man. He's last night, so we had the rehearsal dinner last night, and it was pretty amazing. All of Zeke's 12 best friends were there, and they weren't afraid to get up and give a toast, and they were just so eloquent and just praised him about how great he was. And I was like, man, he's got to be paid actors or something. There's no way this guy's so awesome. But he is. So we enjoyed that last night, and we're glad that you can be here. If I do get a little bit emotional, Lily has agreed to step in and finish this for me, so I appreciate that. I do want to give a shout out to my wife, Jenny. Her and Faith have really worked hard on making this the night that it is. But from birth until tonight, Jenny has labored tirelessly to give Faith everything she wants. I'm the counterbalance. I try to get Faith to pay for it or offer a cheaper solution that's not as good and try to convince her it's all right. But thank you, Jenny, for everything you've done. It's wonderful. And thank you for all the people that have helped out tonight to make this so great for these schmoopy lovebirds. We're very grateful. I asked Faith what I should say tonight, and she said, why don't you just talk about how great it is to have a perfect daughter? So I will. Minutes after Faith was born, the nurses, try to get her to cry to kind of clear out their lungs. And then we spent the next 24 years trying to make her not cry. But it's often said that raising kids is hard work. That hasn't been my experience. Here I go. If you love your job, it's not work, right? And I'm my kids' biggest fan. They've been great. Faith is talented, beautiful, and kind, and a bit strong-willed. The first note she ever wrote me that I remember, I still have it on my bulletin board. It was, we were supposed to go somewhere, and she said, "I'm no Kevin." So that's kind of a family joke, but she was not going to go on whatever we were going to do. And she did, but she kind of gave me that note with a little bit of a grin, and just kind of showed her personality. So good luck with that, Zeke. Faith is an accomplished basketball player, like Zeke, and actually a majority of people here tonight. In college, she had 4 major knee surgeries, and we didn't make her keep playing. She decided she was going to do that for her commitment and pride of playing, and even just to pay for college. And so that just kind of shows you how tough she is. But she's kind and gracious too. As a nurse, she's had a lot of compassion in her job, and even though it probably didn't turn out as glamorous as Grey's Anatomy made it out to be, she really helps a lot of people with that. But a couple of things. She does have a tendency to worry, and Zeke doesn't. So I think that's a good counterbalance, And I think they're going to make a great couple. The thing I like about Zeke is he really is full of optimism and hope, and he's a happy person. So life hasn't beaten that out of me yet, but he might get there one day. Anyway, if Faith's sense of humor is at your expense, I apologize. That's from me. but I think she'll be a great helpmate to Zeke as they move forward. I'm really excited that they have this God-given opportunity to start a family. I actually was wrestling with this for a bit because they're moving to Lexington. And marriage and my kids have been the greatest thing in my life. So I'm happy that she gets to do that too. In a little bit, my other daughter is going to be giving a toast. And I'm going to start opening applications for dating her. So if you like what you've seen here tonight, let me know. It's a non-refundable deposit. But in all seriousness, guys, come on, all seriousness. Let's bless this beautiful couple as they move into the next chapter of their life. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace.
How's everybody doing tonight? I'm Walker. I'm the first of Zeke's best men tonight. Before I get started, can we just give it up for the bride and groom? This night's all about them. They look beautiful tonight. I just want to start off by saying how thankful I am to be a part of y'all's special day. Zeke is probably my oldest friend and the first of my close friends to get married. So to be up here with you, brother, is truly one of the biggest honors in my life. And my sister just got married a couple weeks ago, so I got a little insight into the process. And I know that nothing, and I mean nothing, gets approved without the bride signing off. So thank you, Faith, for also letting me be up here tonight. But the first piece of information that I got from Zeke about Faith was that she was the best shooter on the Trevecca women's basketball team, which was exciting to me because I'm a coach's kid. My dad's a college basketball coach. I can't help it. I tend to approach things with a bit of a evaluating standpoint. So I think this was after the first or second date, maybe. Regardless, I was way ahead of myself because my mind immediately went to potential future kids gonna have a chance to be able to play some ball with them. So that was exciting for us. And fast forward, it kept going on some days. I found out Faith's like 5'10", 5'11", at which point I told my dad, class of 2045, you're probably gonna need to save a scholarship because Zeke and his new girl got a chance to have a prospect for you. But as I got to know Faith a little bit more and her and Zeke together, I realized that was far from the most exciting thing. Just from the jump, I knew that she put up with Zeke, so she was a strong woman for sure. So that was encouraging, no doubt. But in all seriousness, without knowing Faith too well, I knew that she made my best friend extremely happy and brought out the best version of him. So that's been so cool to watch, Faith. I appreciate you for that. I know Zeke as a friend. I know what you get out of him as a friend, and that's someone that is always in your corner with unwavering support, someone that's always willing to listen to you and help you out with any problem that you have, someone that's always going to make you laugh and bring joy to any room that you're in, and above all else, someone that's going to challenge you in your faith and be a great brother in Christ above all else. So me and a lot of guys in here are lucky enough to know Zeke the friend. And now Faith gets the pleasure of being able to know Zeke the husband. And I know that he will do all the things that I just mentioned and much more for you and y'all's future family. So we're so excited to see where this takes you guys. So excited to have Faith in Lexington, for sure. So, Faith's been living in Tennessee. Me and Zeke have been hanging out a lot. So we're still in ongoing negotiations on how many nights a week we get for watching sports and playing. I know Richard said that late night video games were over, but we're still waiting on the final verdict for Faith on that one. Regardless, I'm so excited to be able to watch y'all's relationship grow up close and see where this journey takes you. I know that God has huge things in store for y'all, and we all love you guys and pray blessings over you guys. So, cheers to the Greers. I'm going to be passing it off to Hank Hutchison tonight.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Hank Hutchison, for anyone that has not had a chance to meet today. I'm Zeke's #1 ranked best friend. As well, so it's an honor to be here tonight. I just want to say thank you, first of all, to all of you guys for showing up tonight to celebrate these two people, and more importantly, say thank you to anyone that played a part in raising either of these two people that are up here today. This day's been really special, and it's been fun to see them grow in the relationship. It's been an honor to be the best man, and it's fun, but I knew I had a lot of pressure coming up here, some stories I have to tell, but it was hard to think of some good stories to tell. So I thought I would just read a list of all the good things that Zeke has to offer to their relationship. Actually, Faith already knows all these things already, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and read all the bad things that Zeke has. Like I said, I have a lot that I thought about saying tonight. Zeke has been my best friend for the last 5 years. We were both recruited to play at Tribeca back in 2020, and we were a part of some of the most historic teams in Tribeca's history, but just not together ever. So I think before I transferred over to Lipscomb after my sophomore year, Zeke and our combined team record was 9-39, with an average losing margin of about 50 points. So I think when I left, they took it off, and it was good after that. But the first time Zeke and I actually kind of met, though, was in 2019. We got matched up to play against each other in an AU tournament in Atlanta. His team ended up taking the W behind a triple-double performance from him, but I had 30 points, so it doesn't really even matter that kind of now. But a year later, we were able to find that film and watched it probably 20 times at my parents' house and in our freshman year of college, so it was fun. But there's never been a dull moment being friends with Zeke. I remember times our freshman year just driving around Nashville with Kayla and other roommates just getting into trouble. And I remember watching Zeke spend a bunch of his parents' money on Madden video games without them knowing. And also getting to sit in on those phone calls with his parents when they did figure out that he had spent a ton of their money on the Madden team. But I've been able to see Zeke go through a couple different seasons of his life. It's been really, really cool. I've seen him work hard regardless of the minutes that he was getting or the team success that we had during our years as teammates. I know he's heard this a bunch of times, but the best qualities that he brought to the court, regardless of how good of a shooter he was or how good of an on-ball defender that he was, came in the locker room. People just gravitate towards him. He has that energy about him, and everyone's touched on it. He has a way of making everyone feel welcome and seen, and he was able to poke fun at you, but he was also able to take a joke as well, which was really, really cool. Coach Carroll's here today. He just says a lot about people won't remember the things you said to them, but they'll remember the way that you made them feel. And I think Zeke is probably the biggest embodiment of that quote that he said. I think everyone has ever been a teammate of his, a friend of his. I mean, we had 100 Grimsmen today, and you couldn't pick one. So I mean, that says a lot about just the way Zeke has a way of making everyone feel a part of the team, and it's awesome. We're almost done. I do remember our junior year, though, while I was away from Zeke, I heard he started talking to Faith, and I started going on some dates, and I was relieved to hear this because I knew Faith, I knew her game, when I knew that it meant that their future kids now had a real chance of having some college basketball players, which is awesome. The first real memory I had, and she actually kind of said it tonight, was our freshman year. Zeke, Calvin, and I went bowling on a triple date of sorts, I guess, with the intent of like kind of matchmaking them two, and it didn't work out at the time, but we definitely had the right vision, so I'm glad that we can kind of take credit for some of that. I'm almost done, like I said. I'm truly proud, Zeke, of the man that you've become. And I'm equally proud of the way that you have loved and respected Faith during y'all's relationship. I don't know the first thing about marriage, but I've had some mentors of mine tell me about 4 things that a father-in-law hopes for their daughter one day. They want their daughter to be loved well, cared for, provided for, and protected. And I can say on behalf of Zeke that I have 100% confidence that he will do those things and do them well moving forward as y'all start y'all's life together. Richard read this earlier. I don't know, I'm getting kind of emotional. I'll leave you guys with the scripture from Ephesians that he read earlier today. It says, "Husbands, love your wife just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her to make her holy, cleansing her by the washing with water through the word, and to present her to himself as a radiant church without stain or wrinkle or any other blemish, but holy and blameless." My prayer for you two moving forward is that you would continue to serve each other well, that you would lead in a way that's honoring to God. And Paul, I don't know why I'm getting emotional, but Paul in Ephesians writes to love her, and this love he's talking about in Greek is the word agape, and it doesn't mean to love out of feeling, or like when you feel like loving her when things are good. It means to make a constant and daily choice to pick each other over the other person. So I just pray that you two would choose each other daily, to pray together daily, pray for each other daily, and just keep God at the center of your relationship. And I love you guys a lot, so that's all I have.
Dad, I think some of those papers will work for the applications in the back that Hank's got. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Faith's sister, Lily, and for those of you who do, I apologize. I was going to use the speech that AI wrote for me today, but it sounded a bit too choppy for my taste, though it didn't seem to bother Zeke when he used it on his vows. Yeah, after listening to it, you did a good job. I should have taken it out when it was too good. Okay, here we go. They say you never meet your heroes. Faith met me when she was 3 years old. Do you really like having a little servant following her around and making me fetch her juice boxes? And she still even does it today, not with the juice boxes, but we'll be sitting on the couch together and I'll be like, I need to get something, like a snack or something. And Faith, can you give me something too? I've been waiting for an hour to get up. Waits till somebody walks by to the kitchen. Can you grab me this? But since I have grown out of that role, and my parents too, she had to find someone else, and that's when Zeke came. I don't know how he feels about it, but Faith assures me that he does like it. But at any rate, all jokes aside, being Faith's sister is a true blessing, and Zeke, I hope you enjoy growing old with her as much as I did growing up with her.
My paper's a little wet, so. All right. First of all, I just want to thank the Wilkins, Ms. Wilkins, Faith, Lily, Mr. Wilkins, setting up this whole event. I know it's been mentioned before, countless hours have gone into planning and prepping some more, and it couldn't have turned out more perfect. And I'm so grateful that that they took the time. They took the time to do this and set it up and make it special. And so I just want to thank them, and I'm really grateful for that, as everyone mentioned. For you all, looking at it, it makes me a little emotional just looking at all the people who love me and love Faith and have poured into us. So thank you all for coming. You've made us both feel really loved and special. So I'm just a guy who's in love with a beautiful girl, who's a lot more detailed and organized than I am. Probably a little bit better of a basketball player. Also, as been touched on, her records are a lot better than mine have been. More importantly, she's just a perfect match for me in every way. And I couldn't imagine anyone else sitting next to me, and I couldn't imagine any other group of people standing in front of me. They say it takes a village, and so that I really feel like, this is my village. I'm sure plenty of you villagers have wished I maybe have been exiled at some point or another, but I'm thankful that you guys have stuck by me. There's truly a piece of everyone here in either of us, so I'm really grateful for that. And you all have prepared me specifically, and Faith as well, just in life. And we're so grateful for that. We feel ready thanks to the advice and examples of godly men and women and couples and friends. Like I said, we just feel very prepared. Obviously, a little nervous, good nerves, but we're very grateful, like I said, for the examples and advice that you guys have given us. And the best way to show my gratitude is by living out the example that you guys have been, and the advice you've given by treating her and loving her the way you guys would have me to, by leading our family alongside Christ and serving God the way you guys would have us to. So that's my thank you to you all, and that's my promise to you all. And so let's enjoy the rest of the night. Me and Faith are trying to make our way around. We spent like 10 minutes at each table. We're coming around, but we can't wait to celebrate you guys. And once again, we're just so happy to have you guys here. I love all of you. Good night.